increased spending, increased taxes, and increased fees. While the people of New York have been saving more and spending less, why can't the folks in Albany, Democrats in Albany, cut the state deficit by spending less rather than taxing more? People understand that. They understand that we, the Republican Party, our DNA is one of cutting taxes and cutting spending. And that's what people want in Albany going forward. But things are worse than that in Albany. You know, Democrats controlling everything in Albany. There's a saying, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. Well, you know, it didn't take long for the problems to set in Albany. You know, Spencer had to leave because of moral corruption, so we got an unelected governor. Unelected governor doesn't know how to govern. He's minority leader in the legislature. Didn't know how to be an executive. You got an unelected controller. Hevesy had to leave because of financial corruption. And every one of the 3 Democratic leaders in the Senate is either under investigation or accused of impeding an investigation. That's the corruption that settled in Albany. So who's really governing in Albany? Only one man. Speaker of the Assembly, Shelley Silver. Shelley Silver was elected by several thousand votes in lower Manhattan. That's not a mandate to govern New York. What we need is a Republican mandate. We need to have a Republican governor, and come November 2nd, we're going to elect Carl Palladino governor of New York State. And you know, we also, most importantly, going forward, if you take a look at the people who are running Albany, governor's from Manhattan, Shelley Silver's from Manhattan, the 3 leaders, Democratic leaders in the state Senate from Manhattan, all of them from Manhattan. Who's representing upstate? If you take a look at the Republican minority, those Republicans are dotted all across upstate. They represent upstate. We also, on November 2nd, in order to have upstate properly represented, we need to elect a Republican majority in the state Senate. That's what we need to do. We'll get New York State back on the right track then. We've also got great candidates for controller, and Harry Wilson, as you know, a real professional, coming from the private sector. He knows financial markets. He knows restructuring. He restructured General Motors as the only Republican who worked on that in the Obama administration. That's the fellow we need as controller, and we got Dan Donovan running for Attorney General. Dan Donovan, a real professional prosecutor. The last 2 Attorney Generals we've had, both of them, have just been, you know, AG, you know what it stands for, aspiring governor, right? That's what they did. They just wanted to use the Attorney General's job as a stepping stone to the governorship. Dan Donovan is a professional prosecutor, trained in Morgenthau's office in Manhattan. He fought the Staten Island office when he got elected 7 years ago as DA there for being the worst in New York State to being one of the best offices. A real professional. And he has said, I'm not going to run for governor. I'm not going to run for governor. I just want to, the only reason he wants to be Attorney General is so he can clean up the culture, democratic culture of corruption in Albany. So we got a great slate of candidates going forward. From Carl Palladino, don't forget Greg Edwards, a great county executive, Chautauqua County, running for Lieutenant Governor, Harry Wilson for Controller, and Dan Donovan for Attorney General. But you know, in Washington, same thing happened. In the last election, the Democrats won the presidency. In 06, they won both houses of Congress. In the 08 elections, they increased their majorities, very large liberal majorities. Obama, the most liberal senator in the United States Senate, and boy, did they get arrogance. In Washington, it was the arrogance of power. And they thought they could do anything they wanted to, and boy, they tried to do everything. Whether it was the TARP bailouts, or whether it was the stimulus package, or whether it was card check, the list kept going on and on and on. And finally they got Obamacare passed, right? They got Obamacare passed. And Obamacare was supposed to bend the cost curve down, right? How do you bend the cost curve down when you don't have corporate Democratic president and very liberal. Excuse me, 1/5 of American industry, the healthcare sector of American industry, taken over by the government. That's what Obamacare was. It was really a power grab by the Democrats in Washington. Well, you know, my friends, come November 2nd, that's going to end. Because we're going to elect a Republican majority in the House of Representatives. And Nancy Pelosi will no longer be the Speaker of the House. And we're going to repeal Obamacare. And right in the middle of that is going to be Richard Hanna as the representative of the 24th Congressional District. Richard, come on up here.
Well, if we don't take back New York pretty soon, there's not going to be a lot left to take, is there? We've lost, what, 1.5 million people in the last 10 years? Young people don't have opportunity here, and that's what's wrong. And it's all indicative of us being incapable of building an environment that allows us to do what we want to do. Build our businesses, get educated, find a good job, and raise our families. That used to be the story of New York. Well, it's not anymore, and it's time that we change that. This election that we're going into now is fundamental to all of us. It's about what we want to see, what our vision is of the future of New York and the future of this country. We have a chance to save that vision. That's why we need to get out there, we need to talk to our friends, we need to explain to them that they've got alternatives, that they need to get involved this time. Republicans can send that message because they're energized now, and you can see that all over the country. The Democratic Party has disappointed its base. They're as scared that they won't be able to find work, that their children won't be able to stay here, as you are and I am. So, really, we need to get involved. We need to send the message that this is a time when we exercise our right to vote, our right to express ourselves, and we've got an opportunity to do that. And it's never been more important in this country than right now. We are undoing all the things that have made this country magnificent. We are telling people that it's okay to be entitled. It's okay to not work, to not participate, that somehow someone will always take care of you. I don't want to live in a welfare state. I want to live in an opportunity state where I can be the recipients of my own hard work, my own education, and apply myself. And on the other side, if I make mistakes, moral hazards matter. That's what keeps us honest. That's what makes us energized to do the right thing in our life. We need to send the message that people are once again accountable for themselves. I'm a basic guy. I built a business here. I've lived here all my life. When I came back from college some 35 years ago, I built a life, I built a business, I'm raising a family, I have everything I ever dreamed of. My single-minded goal is to make sure that my children and your children live to the same opportunity environment that I did. I don't want to be part of that generation that spent its parents' money, that spent its money, that spent its children's money, and did the one thing that nobody should ever think of doing in this world, in this country, and that is to pass forward less than they receive. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're doing right now. That's a sin, it's a crime, we're better than that. I need your help to beat Mr. Arcuri, and I believe that I can, and I believe that I deserve to, because I know how value is created, I know how real lives with quality people are built, and that is through their own energy. And energize them to be the recipients of their own vitality. When I did this before, I never met an Ed Cox. I didn't know who the state committee was run by. I reached out and was never reached back to. So I'm grateful. Mr. Cox has been wonderful for me to deal with. He's been available. He actually picks up his own phone. So, and he's riding around in this bus, and I can tell you he doesn't need to. But he loves his state, and he's committed to you and me, and I congratulate him for that.
Thank you for running. You're out there. We're just here to support you. And let me tell you, I've been talking to some people in Washington. I think you're going to be getting some